Are you distracting yourself with things that are pointless and therefore keeping yourself from doing the things that you need to do and the things that you actually want to do to further yourself, or whatever creative project or whatever desire you have? So let's see what the I Ching has got to advise us with regards to that. So good morning, this is Hanna, and this is the I Ching reading for today. I am happy to have you here. I'm hoping you are well. So as usual, we're starting by rooting into the present moment. So doing this by breathing in and out through the nose, leaving the past in the past and the future in the future. And as you breathe in, the stomach expands, and as you breathe out, it contracts. So you're breathing into the bottom of your lungs, but you are not forcing in any way. And as you're breathing in, your spine rises towards the sky, crown point connecting to the universe above. Chin tilts in slightly. And as you breathe out, you relax, but you do not collapse. The spine remains rising towards the sky as if it's hanging from a silk thin thread from above. And with each breath out, you're connecting more deeply to Mother Earth below. So you stay with your breath, and I will draw the hexagrams. So how are the energies around us today, and how do we best navigate them in order to have the most smooth and joyous day forward? And let's specifically look at distractions and how to avoid procrastination. We've got 38, diversity, with the future potential of 64, not yet fulfilled, and then the underlying energy of already fulfilled, 63. So what's going on here with the delaying or distractions and doing things you don't need to? Maybe you're scrolling on social media, or just distracting yourself, watching telly or something, distracting yourself with things that are not really beneficial for the long term, right? For what you're trying to create or to move forward and sort of live your best life. But this whole this reflection is telling me here is that this is what could happen, right? And as long as this is not something that keeps on going on for weeks, days and weeks on end, maybe you just have a morning or a day where you're distracting yourself, and you finding that you do not really know which direction to take next, right? Or which step to take next, although you might know the direction, but you don't do what you need to do. But could it be maybe you've been working very hard lately, and sometimes one needs to rest as well. So give yourself some credit as well, as long as this is not something that keeps on going on for weeks and months. Right? You've been procrastinating and delaying and distracting yourself for a very long time, right? If this is just maybe today, or you feel like you had a few days when you've not been doing the things and you feel bad about that, I think just let it go, because there's actually, I wrote it down here in the lost horse will come back on its own time. in its own time, right? It's allowing things to be as they are. Because if you look at the underlying energy here, which is already fulfilled, and the future potential, which is not yet fulfilled, which is is speaking about the ebb and flow of the beginning, like when nothing has before, actually the initiation even, and then the end, which is it is fulfilled. And this is the ebb and flow of life. And this is the ebb and flow of completing and beginning. And then we get this little space in between where we could feel a little bit confused and or maybe tired because you have been doing a lot of things. And this might not be a big ending or a small ending. Like everything is not, like everything is a cycle. Like every day is a cycle. Every hour is a cycle. The beginning of the hour, the end of the hour. Every second is a cycle. Beginning of the second and end of the second, right? And then you can have a year as well. And then also with the big project, so maybe you're creating something, like, or maybe you're starting a business, or maybe you're studying, I don't know what you are, but there's a beginning of that and there's an end of that. But within that, there's small cycles as well, right? So if you're studying, then you're going to have a test, so you practice for the test and then you take the test. And then that's a small cycle. So this is what not yet fulfilled and already fulfilled is speaking about. And the underlying energy is already fulfilled. So you come to an end of a specific cycle, right? And then you end up feeling, not maybe entirely sure what the exact next step is. Or maybe you're just tired and you end up distracting yourself. And diversity is speaking about like this, you're not seeing in the correct way. Or actually the image of diversity is speaking about this, like you've got two hands here. That are separate with the back of the hands towards each other. And there's an eye to the side here, and it's on the side. It means we're not looking correctly, or we're looking in different direction. And there's an arrow here shooting through the hand, parts of the hand just separating. So diversity when something is being scattered. However, this is actually, you'd think this would be a really bad hexagram, or bad, like a negative, but it's actually quite good, because when you look at you've got the underlying energy of lake, which is talking about being centered and having a strong center and being, balanced within and without. You've got fire. And it's to see clearly and have clarity and also have this creative power. And then, so it's be patient with yourself and knowing, yes, this is a day maybe when you're just wasting away or you had a few hours when maybe you feel like, oh no, I really should have been doing this because I really need to move forward. But just allow yourself. The lost horse will come back, right? So just be in this inner center with this, like, still keep this joy and don't blame yourself too much, right? Because all is well, because you are stepping in to this next cycle, which is tomorrow or later on today. You're going to continue doing what you need to do, take the next step. But the advice here maybe you need to sit down and think, okay, so clearly what is my next step? What is the best next step? So take this time, so turn off that mobile phone, put away whatever, turn off the telly, whatever you're using to distract yourself, and then sit down, meditate for a few minutes, and then start writing down or start looking at the things that you need to do, and then make the next step, plans for the next step forward, and then forgive yourself, right? Keep the proper attitude. Don't blame yourself too much. This happens, right? It does. And then seek harmony within yourself and also around yourself as well. But I think this is more on a personal level, more than, without reaching out to affecting other people. So seek harmony within yourself, forgive yourself, keep your attitude up. It's fine. It's fine to have a few hours. It's fine to have a few days for something where we don't actually do the things we need to do, because we shouldn't push ourselves too hard as well, because we end up running out of steam, right? And knowing that disorder will turn into order, right? When something is not yet fulfilled, that's disorder. We don't really know where we're going. As we're stepping into this, we're in the energy of not yet fulfilled, but eventually we'll come to the point where it's already fulfilled when there is order. Okay, so this was the reading for today. I hope it was a benefit, and I am wishing you a beautiful day ahead.